Dislyte was a recommendation I had in the comments recently, and I thought it was a fancy sports drink that the cool kids were all drinking or something at first when I saw the name, until I looked it up and was sad to find it was just another gacha game. It might not be the next Prime, but I gave it a good taste anyway. If you enjoy techno music and interesting character designs, Dislyte delivers well on those two fronts. But that's unfortunately all it gave me in my first 3 to 4 hours of gameplay, and I couldn't really bring myself to play any more than that. Upon first seeing Dislyte's website when I researched it, you get a great look at the character design. I might not be used to Western art styles in gacha games, but I am a huge sucker for mythology-based stuff since I enjoy the Fate franchise after all, so I was just raring to go at this game to see how it dealt with these godly references these characters had incorporated into their designs. The voice acting is actually quite decent for an English dub cast as well, except all the mob characters are unfortunately voiced by the same dude, which reaches uncanny valley when a massive bouncer type character and a creepy veiled mob all sound exactly the same.
What the? It's the Union! What a help! Help!
I would trust the game when it tells you that you really do need headphones to play this, especially when you get lines like this coming out of the game. You'll thank me later for saving you the awkward dinner conversation if you did play this at the dinner table. But of course I do have to reassure you that the voice actors for the main characters are actually not too bad. The game also comes with a rhythm-based minigame because it is a music-based game after all. But of course, even with this fairly decent sum of its parts, I definitely think that the story is lackluster compared to the rest of the game. And of course the sussy voice acting doesn't really help either. To sum it up, you play as Bryn, a recently awakened Esper with a power of angel wings or something that sprouted from her ass, in a post-apocalyptic world where people have obtained the power of mythological beings and gods to defeat purple space golems that have descended upon Earth. She's basically looking for her bandmate, friend, wait, they didn't even explain this. Boyfriend? Brother? No clue who this guy is. This guy's Sieg, by the way. She's just looking for Sieg. She then gets roped into an organization called the Union that is supposed to help protect order or something, and of course help her find her kidnapped friend. Then groups up with a ton of new characters who get zero build up throughout the entire story except for this one wing dude. Also ripping pepperonis, Joe. Joe who, you ask? It's that guy, not this guy that you're spending the entire story looking for. I seriously hope you weren't expecting a Joe Mama joke, because that would have been a bit low. That is basically what this game should be called instead of Dislyte. It should be called This Guy, because all you're doing is trying to find this guy, Sieg, who you have zero emotional connection to. I'm aware the side stories are actually quite good according to some people, but at the moment, the story is extremely mid and filled with cringe-worthy dialogue. Like, listen to this stuff. Oh god, did she just nya? Oh no!
We go because I nya.
Oh my god!
Unai is just a small organization, yeah.
Also, the main character makes a funny reference to the hit space game Among Us. The battles in this game are basically turn-based Persona or Star Rail style combat with 2 skills per character instead, and you simply progress the story to level up your units alongside your own player level. As you can already tell, there's a serious lack of landscape mode, so don't worry, I haven't forgotten to rotate the screen. To make things a little worse as well in this format, there's no option to open a character roster that allows you to find a character without scrolling for light years on end. Which is a good thing and a bad thing, because this means there's plenty of characters. The downside is you cannot find them.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
At the very least though, the rest of the game is very streamlined with minimal delays in story quest progression, and when jumping from screen to screen with fairly smooth level progression and few loading screens to speak of. One crazy thing I did find was that you can even farm the game in the background while you sort your units in the game, which is seriously not a bad thing to have in such a farming heavy game like this. It does go at normal speed though for some strange reason, while actually being able to skip battles or blitzing them in this game costs some currency that I still have no idea how to earn. Oh wait, never mind, I just figured it out. It costs money, of course. Definitely greedy design from the devs to basically get money from this wallet. Aw man, I thought it was funny, stop booing me. Speaking of greedy design, let's go towards the gacha. The gacha is pretty generous with its role currency and starting rolls, with a guaranteed beginner SSR character in 10 rolls to get Magic Monkey Man Sun Wukong. Doing some research into the actual roll chances in this game, it really is about 1% SSR roll chance, which is just as disgusting as FGOs. I might have spent too much on FGO, but on top of already not being impressed with my first impressions of Dislyte due to its bare bones story, there's really just no way I would recommend spending a single cent on this game. On that note, I then proceeded to spend half the game penetrating everyone with this guy's giant golden rod. And also got Vergil from DMC5, except he messed up his Sin Devil trigger and ended up a Dragonkin furry in the process with no wings. He's probably got one of the worst ultimate lines in a video game I've ever heard.
Become a collector's item!
Okay, let me fix that for you, Vergil clone number 569.
Slay all.
Yes, that is much better. But of course, this isn't the end of the pinnacle of characters in this game that you'll see, until you've seen Anki Chai, the best character in the game. He's got the tattoos, he's got the Giga Chad energy, and he even has the Riz to help you get bitches. Unfortunately, there's only a grand total of 2 voice lines per character, so he's not gonna be giving us any advice on how to get the ladies after all. I guess we'll be remaining maidenless, my fellow Dislyte players.
Side triceps.
Him being a 3-star really isn't a problem either. It just makes it way easier to get more copies of Muscle Gramps the Time Wizard with his
Triceps magic.
As you can already tell, I enjoy the characters and their designs a lot, even if some of their voice lines did cause me to cringe into the next dimension. But you don't really get many opportunities to quote Vergil because the character looks a lot like him. Look forward to Anki Chai's
Muscly muscle magic.
And of course, it really is not every day that you see a monkey man start screaming.
This is the way of the warrior!
Right after he spent the entire game poking bad guys with his extendable thick rod. And I guess you could even say, he's a real pain in the ass, isn't he? As you can already tell, my sanity's clearly gone down the drain after playing this game. My verdict though for this slide has to be a 6 out of 10. It's sadly your run-on-the-mill gacha game that focuses way more on the gameplay than the story, and the story is really what sets these gacha games apart from the crowd. Despite having a colourful cast of well-designed characters, which has kept this away from the 5 out of 10 range, Dislyte unfortunately doesn't give me the motivation to play on and level my units, since the story really just doesn't keep me engaged at all enough to progress through it. Paired up with the gacha rates that are a constant complaint on Reddit the moment I even try and look up the gacha tables, it's really just not a good impression to leave on a new player. On that note, I believe there are seriously far better gacha games to grind and level characters on, with character designs that are equally as good, if not better. I'd honestly take FGO any day, even with its terrible SSR roll chances that are near equal to Dislyte's, because FGO's story actually kept me hooked for 6 years and counting, while Dislyte's story had me bored to tears in less than an hour of playing. I'm really sorry to you, my hopefully subscriber Merlin. I gave the game my best shot, but it devolved into mindless grinding that really just wasn't much fun after wearing out the novelty of the characters. In the end, I can really only recommend this game to hardcore techno music fans who can appreciate the background music, people who enjoy character designs more than the story, and to those who have spent far too much on this game to leave. I definitely would not play this myself, and I would not recommend it to anyone who enjoys story. Also, just as I was reading through my script, it actually just hit me that the main character is actually Bryn, and by that I mean Brynhildr, a Valkyrie that serves Odin, and is Siegfried or Sigurd, her husband who actually slayed Fafnir in Norse mythology. It was so damn obvious, and how I didn't realize this when I first saw the game, and the fact that Bryn sprouts wings from her ass seriously annoys me, but I guess the story didn't really explain anything either. Now that that side endeavor's all done, I shall go back to headbatting Aruna on Brew Archive. So as always, stay safe, stay humble, and of course...
Damn it, my luck sucks! You better watch out next time, eh?
The boulder's over his conflicted feelings, and now he's ready to bury you in a rock-a-lack.